This is the first in a series of interviews I'm doing with colleges about some fantastic training options available that tend to get overlooked when it comes to audition time. Today I'm talking to Marissa Dunlop from Reynolds Performing Arts. Thank you so much for agreeing to come and chat to me today.
You're very welcome.
Can you just tell me a little bit about who you are, what your job is, what your courses you offer?
My name is Marissa Dunlop and I'm Deputy Principal at Reynolds Performing Arts. I've been involved with the college since 2013, originally coming in as a singing teacher, took over as Deputy Principal in the beginning of 2019. The courses that we offer are, we have an elite sixth form, so it's a 3-year course that consists of an elite sixth form where you get a level 3 and extended level 3, the equivalent of 3 A-levels, and then in the 3rd year a level 4 professional diploma. And we have 3 different pathways. We have musical theatre and acting, and we've introduced for 2021 a dance pathway because that was something that we identified a lot of students were looking for. They wanted to specialise. And we also have students that come in directly to our 3rd year, so we call that direct entry. So that might be students that have done A-levels at their 6th form, maybe they've auditioned for degree courses and not got onto their dream course, or perhaps they know they just need 1 extra year of training.
So with your pathways, would a student have to have chosen the pathway at the start of the course, or are they able to kind of change paths throughout the time with you?
Qualification is holistic, so you're doing the same qualification, you're just tailor-making it. So that means that although we do have the pathways, you can move between them. So you'd work with your tutors and your personal tutor if you felt like you weren't sure which pathway to start on, or if you wanted to make a transition across the pathways, because of course someone who joins us at 16 isn't going to know where they want their career journey to necessarily end up, or they might have a really clear goal that changes, and that happens quite a lot. So there are absolutely those options.
My favourite part of the day is reaching lunchtime, when you get to sit with all your friends and discuss what they've been doing in the day, because everyone takes their own channel, their own avenue, their own path with Reynolds. And yes, we all end up at that graduation ceremony with our cap and gown, but we've all taken extremely different steps to get there, and Reynolds have allowed that.
So the reason I'm chatting to you, because you know this series of interviews is to talk to people that are associated with schools where the courses are really highly rated by people in the industry or by students that have taken them, but for some reason they fly under the radar. People tend to focus on the big, long-term established schools. What do you think it is that you're offering that is getting you such amazing feedback?
I think it is the unique and the bespoke approach, not just to the course, but we are small. There's less than 20 students in each year group through all the pathways.
I can't think of any other college that feels more like a family than Reynolds does. And any college that cares for their students nearly as much, they don't just care about your professional progress, but also your well-being.
There's an individuality that is offered to each student in understanding the way that they learn and the way that they progress.
As someone who comes from a different country and identifies as non-binary, they have been so open and welcoming and warm to facilitate any of the needs I need, whether that be financially or with mental health and extra training.
And we just have an exceptional faculty. They are industry experts, but who have also undertaken teacher training. But we share a passion for bringing this expert training, this incredible training that you might expect to receive at one of those big colleges that everyone knows the name of, but bringing it to the community and having that outreach of people that might not ordinarily have the opportunity to have such amazing training, because we keep our fees to the absolute minimum that we can.
Yeah, about your fees, like, I couldn't believe how cheap your fees are. Like, talk us through how, because on average, a foundation course costs about £10,000. But yours are about 1/3 of the price. How is that possible?
Well, we have The qualifications that we offer, so the extended level 3, the equivalent of 3 A levels, and the level 4 for the foundation year are government funded for 16 to 19 year olds, and even above that in age you can get an advanced learner loan, which is really similar to a student loan. So that means that those 19 hours of the qualification, or equivalent to 19 hours, sometimes it's a little bit less, a little bit more depending on the qualification, are government funded. So we then offer the top-up fees for the additional contact hours that you're getting up to 40 hours as the private element. So there is also the option to do it more like you would at your local college for just the qualification, but I'd say probably 99% of our students do the full course because that is our passion. We want to be able to make the performing arts accessible to everyone.
So if I was a student, I'm 16, I'm looking at your course, what are you looking for from people applying?
What we're looking for really is potential and passion. So we're not looking for the finished product. We want to meet somebody who we can see in their eyes that they want to, they have these ambitions and they want to achieve them. They've got the drive to do that and the potential, but they're not there already. We want to help them on that journey and give them all the tools they need to succeed.
I never took a ballet class, a tap class, a jazz class before going to Reynolds at 16. So they have helped me so much. I started at foundation in first year in all my classes and majority left in all my classes in advance. So the improvement that Reynolds helped me, outstanding.
Reynolds will nurture you and help you become the professional that is needed within this industry.
What would be your top audition tip?
My top tip would be that we've all been in your position and everybody on the other side of the table, as it were, wants you to do really, really well, and that we're not looking for this finished product. We're looking for someone who's got that passion, who is enjoying themselves and wants to be there. So not to worry if things go a little bit wrong, to have fun and to know that we're rooting for you. We really are sat there rooting for you. I think that's hard to believe until I was on the other side. You think they're waiting for you to muck up and you're not.
It's so easy to say
Yeah.
from our position at the other side of the table, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so difficult when you're the auditionee.
And also to remember that you're auditioning us, that you're our customer, as it were, and it's about you making sure that we're the right college and the right course for you. So if you feel like you can take a bit of empowerment through that, and that helps you to be less nervous, that might be something that's helpful.
So what is your audition process at the moment?
We've got virtual auditions at the moment, which is quite nice because it does give you, as an auditionee, the opportunity to really showcase what you're best at, and you can have a few goes at it, so you can eliminate some of the nerves. So there's definitely some bonuses. Musical theatre pathway, we ask for a 2-minute dance solo, a 2-minute song and a 2-minute monologue. And if you're not sure about pathways, if you can't decide, then we usually suggest audition for musical theatre pathway, and then we've seen all three and we can see where your strengths are, and we can discuss that, and we can even wait until you're in the studio in September and look at when we've got a chance to meet you in person and go through that. And then we do have an interview.
And is that interview one-on-one?
It's usually with myself, and then depending on the pathway, either our lead tutor or head of acting. So you've got two of us to kind of bounce off and answer questions. So, but it would be one student at a time. So it really does get that individual attention. But parents can come along as well, because I know if you're having an 18-year-old myself and a 12-year-old, sometimes it's quite nice to be able to ask your own questions as a parent as well.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, you probably prime them before, and then you go, did you remember to ask that?
Yeah,
No.
Absolutely. And I know when my son was doing interviews for university, I was kind of hovering at the door thinking, I wonder if he's going to remember to ask that or that. So it's nice as a parent to have that contact, basically, because it's a big step in your life, isn't it, to change courses and go to a new college, meet new people, and you want to feel like you're involved in that process as a parent, or I know I certainly would.
The reason why I chose to come to Reynolds Performing Arts is because as soon as I attended my first open day, I felt such an immediate, warm, welcoming, positive energy from all the tutors and members of staff and other students. that was very important for me to feel comfortable in the environment that I was going to be training in for the next few years. And I still receive that feeling to this day. The other thing that I really love about Reynolds Performing Arts is the amount of knowledge and professionalism that I feel I have gained.
Our community of students is absolutely amazing. There's no kind of first year, second year, third year, they're just a real community, and during lockdown this second lockdown, they've been creating their own show called MISCAST that they've done entirely by themselves, and they're streaming.
They've put on their own show online and they're raising money. So what are they raising the money for?
So they're raising money to produce the end of year show. So it's because our fees are so low, we usually perform the end of year show at the Orchard Theatre in Dartford, which is an amazing theatre to perform in. We do have a studio theatre ourselves, but they get the opportunity to do that. And throughout the year they go into the community and do various events in usual times to raise money for additional extras for that. So to get in, to go in the studio to record vocals, to get lighting experts, etc. They haven't been able to do as much performing within the community, so they thought this would be a good idea to raise money to enable them to do that. It's nice to see that they've still got that drive and that passion for performing despite all the adversity that they've had to face this last year.
We'll put the links to that in the description attached to this video, so if you want to donate to help the students out for their shows or to have a look about what they've done, we'll put it in the links. Something
that I feel makes us unique is we really want to make sure that students are prepared for the business side of the industry as well. And so we have been, over the last few years, really developing our supplementary career options. So we have lots of advice and guidance and bring performers in who might have what we call a side hustle. So they and those performers come in, do a guest Q&A. And then we can also support the students by delivering some of those qualifications for free as part of the full course. So qualifications in things like makeup or personal training. We also have the ISTD DDE teacher training, which is an additional cost, but again we do that at the lowest fee that we can. Yeah, just really preparing students to know what happens if you aren't in work. What do you do? Do you have to go and get out and get a normal job, or can you have your own kind of sideline that's going to complement the industry that you're in? It's a massively under-taught part of the job, and I think that's fantastic that you're including it. I'm really passionate about that. I think that the arts tend to be really undervalued in what they bring to everyone, you know, in your interview skills, in your confidence, and in your adaptability. I think in COVID, we've all had to be really adaptable. People have had to adapt their teams within business to working online. And I'm just amazed at how incredibly the performing arts community has, well, I don't know why I'm amazed, but they have adapted unbelievably to that and transferred their skill set. And that's something that performing arts in general just really does teach people, is to adapt to new situations and not to sit inside that box. Thank you so much for agreeing to this interview. I mean, your course sounds incredible. If anyone is considering it and has overlooked Reynolds, the bespoke option is something that shouldn't be overlooked. Very few schools give you the option to change your track once you've begun. And how can you know where your passions lie straight away at the start of your training? So that flexibility is incredible. And on top of that, it's going to be so much cheaper than a lot of the other foundation courses you might be considering. So personally, I think you should all consider it. Final thing, describe your course in 3 words. What would you pick? I would pick nurturing, unique and ambitious. Sounds pretty good to me. Thank you so much for speaking to me. Thank you. If you want to know any more information about Reynolds Performing Arts, I've put all the links in the description attached to this video. It's a fantastic course and I think it's one you should really consider. As always, if you've liked this video, hit the like button. If you've really liked it, hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions about your upcoming drama school auditions, please get in contact with us through the website chironauditionprep.com. Thanks for watching.